Folks, I want to take a
Charles.
second here to talk about today's session, even the last couple of days, right? So for the second session in a row, the market opened under the influence of a news story, right? Based on scuttlebutt, right? Over the intentions of the incoming Trump administration. Now, yesterday, President Trump quickly shot down that Washington Post report that his administration was going to pare back on tariffs plans. Well, then this morning, CNN goes the other way. They're saying that Trump 2.0 is preparing to use emergency powers to bypass Congress with these aggressive tariff plans. Now, here's the problem with these, right? Neither one of them were really news. In fact, one of them wasn't news at all, and the other one was not breaking news. So let's give you an example. These international emergency economic powers come back from the Act of 1977. Jimmy Carter was president, and it's not new. In fact, Trump had threatened to use these back in 2019. So a lot of reporters do this when they use anonymous sources or they just want to make up a story, particularly if they're trying to create the narrative out there. They'll take something that's happened before and say they may do this. Of course, they could do it. Maybe they will do it. But I doubt CNN has anybody in the Trump administration they're talking to after they actively campaigned for Trump to lose. Same thing with Washington Post. I wouldn't take anything they say with a grain of salt, except they do move markets. We saw this a lot the first Trump term, folks, and it hurt investors a lot. Often these stories were retracted later, much later. You know, you get the headline on the front page and the retraction on page 52 of the newspaper. So you have to be extraordinarily careful. And as far as tariffs are concerned, I'm going to go in deep detail on this when I get back in the studio next week. But we have tariffs. They've been around since the 1700s. This is not something completely new. In 2024, by the way, EV tariffs. It wasn't just America. Canada went to 100%. The EU went to 35%. Saudi Arabia put tariffs on Chinese EVs. E-bikes, Great Britain and the EU put tariffs on e-bikes. Semiconductors, a lot of folks have. The bottom line is they've been used even more aggressively. Last year, they were used very, very aggressively. The Trump tariffs stayed in place under Biden, and Biden made them even tougher. So I think the hype over these are just, please don't lose money in the market or sell a great stock because you're worried about tariffs or the latest headline. Same thing with a whole lot of this other stuff, folks. I really am worried about the role of news and news media on your portfolio this year, and I think the last 48 hours proved that. But here's the good news. My town hall, Unbreakable Investor in the New Gilded Age as we meet the new McKinley era, will air Thursday, January 16th, live in New York City. We're on the cusp, in my mind, and President-elect Trump said it yesterday, a new golden era for America. I think it can happen. I think we can unleash economic prosperity that could last 3 decades. That's what happened after President McKinley came into office. Many people don't know about him. I'm going to educate you on him and the amazing parallels to Donald Trump. So come, you want to see this live. Join me in New York City in the studio. Go to foxbusiness.com/Charles Payne Live.